One of the most underrated and most misunderstood growth hacks on Instagram and social media in general that'll always work regardless of the algorithm is having access to and understanding your analytics well. This allows you to be better informed on what's working and what's not working, which can help you make better informed decisions, which leads to better outcomes with your content. Especially in the world of social media marketing where things move so fast and there are so many data points that you can put out a piece of content every single day, and then after a couple of months, you've got 60 pieces of content to look at, see what's working, what's not working, what you can adapt, what you can change. And this, within a couple of months, gives you a very clear plan on what's working, what to do more of if you want to get results. So the key thing here is to, one, have good analytics, good data to work with so you can make good decisions. And then two, understand what is working and what is not based off this information so you can apply that and get results. So today I'm going to show you the analytics tool that I use and how you can use it as well to get awesome results. So diving into my screen, this here is called Flick. It is the hashtag tool that I use, and they have a really good analytics suite as well, which I just really enjoy. Now you can do a lot of stuff on the Instagram app itself with their analytics, but there's just a little bit more on Flick, and that little bit extra is well worth it in my opinion for using an outside app. Now, you can get a free trial of this with my affiliate link down in the description below. But the first piece of information that you want to look at is you want to come across to account, and it'll show you when is most active. And like when your audience is most active. Now this account here only actually has 800 followers, and I've only started tracking it the past 5 days. So it's very new. And so there's not as much data as I'd like on here, but I wanted to show you how I'm doing this for a new account anyway. So the cool thing is it'll show you what time zone it is. When you're on Instagram, it doesn't tell you what time zone your analytics are in, which is kind of confusing for people. But here with Flick, it shows you what time zone. So I can see right now it is Pacific/Auckland. If I were to go on holiday to, I don't know, Melbourne for a couple of weeks and I wanted to keep my content running, I can simply plug that in and see, hey, these are the best times of day when I'm in Melbourne to post, quite early morning. That's what I should be using. But I'll flick back to my Auckland time so I don't make those mistakes. But anyway, I can see down here that the best time to post is between 6 and 7 a.m. That's when the majority of my followers on Sunday are most active. And then most of the days of the week, it is between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. is when people are most active. And then in the weekend, it seems to Friday night is most active and Saturday morning. And so that's probably one relatively busy period. So rather than posting Friday night and straight away Saturday morning, I'll probably just post 8 p.m. Friday night, and that would catch this piece of time, this piece of time, and this piece of time. So that post would probably do really well if I made a Friday evening post. So that is probably when I would reserve my best piece of content for the week to maximize the amount of engagement. Now, the reason that I get a lot of people active between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. Is because I've got an international audience. So I can see where my followers are from. US, India, UK, and my home country, New Zealand. So the fact that like people are really active at 4 a.m., I believe the US is anywhere from about 16 to 20 hours behind. So 4 a.m. is like early morning / midday over in the States, which is why that time of day is so active. Now, the second thing that I want to show you is looking at your content. Now, one really cool stat that they've got inside of this tool is engagement rate. Now, a lot of the time when we talk about engagement rate, we're talking about the percentage of likes to follow ratio. So if you've got 100,000 followers and you get 1,000 likes per post, that's considered 1% engagement rate. However, the way they look at it here is actually probably a more useful stat when it comes to trying to grow your audience. The way they look at it here is simply your engagement based on the reach. So if your content, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, if your content reaches 1,000 people and 100 of them like it, that means you've got a 10% engagement rate. And so it's based on how many people see the content, which shows a more realistic view of how engaging it is. Because Instagram reach can go up and down depending on if the content gets pushed well that day or not. But looking at the percentage of people who actually see it, comparing it to the engagement, is a really, really helpful stat. So I can see that my most recent post has 21.9%. then 31.7, 32.7, like in the high 20s, early 30s, which is really, really good. As you can see over on the right, 31% engagement is 26% above the average for accounts this size. I will say as your account gets larger, you probably get a smaller thing. But what this allows me to do is find out what content is catching the most engagement. So I can just rank this list based on what is getting the most engagement, and how to make $1,000 per week on Instagram got the most likes based on its reach, which is something in itself. If I talk about making money, people are going to be more engaged. That's a takeaway I can get from that. The other one is 5 ways to land clients on Instagram, which interestingly is also about monetization. I've noticed on YouTube, when I talk about growth, I get way more reach than if I talk about monetization. Like if I create a video, how to gain 100,000 followers, and I post that to YouTube, that'll literally do, like that could get 100,000 views. If I create a video of how to make $1,000 a week on Instagram, and I put that on YouTube, on this channel, it'll probably get a couple thousand views. Like I will get 10, 20, 30 times as many views on the growth side of things. However, interestingly, looking at this, my most engaging content is the other way around, which means on Instagram, I should probably be posting more about monetizing your audience, because clearly people are interested in it. Now, another thing you can look at is your reach. So what content is getting the most reach? So we'll wait for that to load, and we can see that of the most engaging 4 pieces of content, 3 of them are carousels. The other ones, or sorry, not the most engaging, the ones that got the most reach, 3 are carousels. And then there's 1 single image there, which goes to show that for this account so far, carousels are outperforming single images. Maybe I could try test what images I use in the future. I could try do before and after photos, or have a slightly different strategy and see if that improves things. But so far, with this amount of data that we have, looks like carousels are performing much better, which, you know, goes to show, hey, I can try out some other things with images, test some different things, try some different styles, but carousels might be the best way to go with this account moving forward. I also can notice in these analytics that content that gets a lot of saves gets a lot of reach. Now, before you draw too many conclusions there, because I know there was something that went viral a while ago saying saves are like super likes in the algorithm, which was based on 0 evidence. So not sure if that is true or not, but there's no evidence behind it. Saves, it's like the chicken and the egg. Like, did the content get more reach because it got more saves and therefore Instagram pushed it? Or did it just get a lot of saves because it got more reach, so more people were able to save the content, if that makes sense? So by simply looking at this data, like I can work out a lot of things. I can see, hey, carousels are doing really well. Content about monetization is doing really well. Although in saying that, I've only really got like 8 pieces of data to look at here, because the other content on the account is all reels. Although if I go last 30 days, maybe that gives me something more to look at. Yeah, it still doesn't change the stats. It just gives me some more lower down. But yeah, that's 2 things that I can straight away notice is post carousels, talk about monetization. Straight away from looking at that stats, that becomes very obvious. They got the most reach and the highest engagement rates. I can also see that, hey, I'm getting 20% more engagement than average for my size, which is a good thing. I'm probably not posting as much as people. Part of that's because there's reels that aren't including in this, and I'm getting a lot more engagement than the average account. So that makes the ego feel great. Now, the other cool thing that this allows you to do is go and look at your hashtags, and that'll allow you to see which hashtags ranked and which ones did well. Now, I have only just recently, 5 days ago, connected my account to Flick. And so if we look at the dates, there's only 3 posts that I've made since connecting Flick to my Instagram. And before that, none of it was tracked. So I don't really have enough data to see which hashtags worked and which ones don't. So I'll probably make an updated video in like a month or 2 about hashtags, because by then I'll have ranked on some and so on. But so far they can see that I've used 25 hashtags, which is a lot less than average, 90% below the benchmark, which means most people are using, like, that have a similar size to me, are using 100 or 200 hashtags every 14 days to test a lot more than me, and then they're finding out which hashtags work well, picking those out and using that. So that's a good insight. I can instantly tell, even if I am not ranking on anything, I can see, hey, on average, people are using way more hashtags, finding the ones that work, and then doubling down on those ones that work. So when I've got some more data on hashtags, I'll create a separate video showing you how to do exactly that. Finally, there's also a cool reports thing that you can do here, where you get weekly performance updates on how many people you reached, your impressions, profile views, etc., which is quite handy, I would say, if you've got stakeholders that you have to report to. Like if you have to, I don't know, if you are a marketing manager for a company and you are, running the social media and you want to show the job that you're doing, show how many people you're reaching, and what your efforts are generating, then something like this would be really, really handy. Or if you're working with clients where you run a client's social media, you're going to want to show them the results that you're getting them so that they can see that, hey, this is actually working. If you're just building your own account, this is probably less important, because you can just sort of track your results yourself, but either way, still relatively handy. So that's the tool that I use for my analytics, as well as some insights into how I use that data to improve the results that I'm generating on Instagram by making better decisions on what content works, what content I should be making more of, and all around just grow the audience faster and hopefully generate more customers. If you want to get a free trial of Flick, I will leave that down below. They've got a great hashtag tool and analytics suite that I use. As I've mentioned in other videos, they don't pay me to promote them. They are simply just the best tool that I've used, and lots of people ask me about hashtags and analytics, so I just mention them. I do have an affiliate link for if you do sign up, but yeah, I'm not getting paid per video to do this. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.